Hi my sweet friends and welcome to The Soul of a Knitter. My name is Anneli and on this channel I share how I try to live with intention, a slow and simple life in the south of Sweden and at the same time trying to make it as a knitwear designer. So I have just been out on a long run, just came out on the shower so my hair is still a little wet and I hear that my voice is a little different, but that is how it is. Yeah, I've been out running for 2.5 hours in a lovely weather. The sun is shining and it's quite windy, and that is why I don't sit outside today because it is too windy, so I can't protect the microphone, and I think that will you will only hear the wind. So we have to be inside today. But on this run, you know, I love being outside in the forest all by myself, running, and the long runs is my favorite because that is an adventure. You know, I take some water and some energy and then I just go. And on this run I met both deers and wild boars. So it was a nice run. I often get the question if I'm not afraid when I'm out by myself in the forest. And the answer is no, I'm not. When I'm in the forest, I feel calm. I feel like that is where I belong. There's only been 2 times when there has been a meeting with animals that has been not scary. First of all, I will also say in Sweden we don't have that many dangerous animals. The most dangerous animal I think is the tick, because that one is carrying diseases. So you can be sick if you get bitten by a tick. But yes, we do have wolves. Here in the south of Sweden we don't have that many, so it's not something that I am afraid of. We don't have bears down here. We have bobcats, but you know they are so they are more afraid of us than we are of them. So we do have you know, the wild boar can be aggressive if it's getting what is the word, if that one needs to protect itself. Of course they can be a little aggressive, also with the moose, but only one time I have met a wild boar that the meeting was a little scary because I ran up a hill, and when I got to the downhill there was a mother wild boar with her little children, and so she turned to me just staring at me, and I felt okay, I need to back off. So I backed away, and then they ran away. So it wasn't any dangerous situation. But of course, if I had taken more step towards her, she would definitely protect her children, just as I would protect my children if they were in danger. And one time there was a male moose standing on the trail that I was running on, and it wouldn't move. I asked it politely if it could move, but he didn't want to, so I had to turn around and run another route. So it wasn't a scary meeting at all, but yes, I did have to turn around. I don't want to go too close to a male moose. No, that would be stupid, actually. So, but that is the 2 times only. You know, I have been running for years and years. I have been out in the forest every day, probably for the last, I don't know. You know, I grew up in the forest, so I have been a lot in the forest, and these are the 2 times that has been that I had to back off. Because, you know, the animals are afraid of us, just more afraid of us than we are of them. So I think, to me, when I do see animals and I do meet animals, to me that is a blessing, because I think they are beautiful creatures, and you know, we share this planet with those. So I'm just grateful for meeting them and seeing them, and for them to letting me see them, even though we sometimes scare each other. Because that is the most common way, actually, that I come running and they have not noticed me, and they get afraid and they run, and then I get a little afraid because I didn't see them, so I only hear when they are running away. So that is the most common meeting. So yeah, but this is not the running pod. Yes, what am I wearing? So this is Smörblomma Tee, and this is knitted up in merino linen from Imagine Wool. That is a merino linen blend, 70% got certified merino and 30% linen. And this is a fingering weight, knitted up in 3mm, US 2.5 for the stockinette, and 3.5mm on the colorwork. That is a US 4. I need to learn this. So yeah, this is actually the pattern that started the whole Smörblomma series that came after this. So it started with this one, and then I made the hat. So this is Smörblomma hat. And that one comes in 3 different sizes. So it's a folded brim and colorwork and this little pom-pom. So this one is knitted up in a sport weight. Mine is knitted in soft merino thin from Imagine Wool. So you can see the pattern more here. And then I did a sweater. So this is in a thicker yarn. This is in a worsted weight, knitted up in svensk ull from Jarbo. So this is a little different from this one. It's not exactly this. It's very similar, but there is some things I need to change because this is a thicker yarn and a totally different gauge. So, and why am I talking about old patterns? Well, it's actually tomorrow we do celebrate Midsummer here in Sweden. And to make that, a celebration for you all, I will have a Midsummer sale. So you will get 25% discount on all of my patterns on Ravelry, and no code needed. And this will be valid until the 30th of June 30, midnight Central European time. 25% off on all of my patterns. So yeah, happy Midsummer. Some of you might notice that I didn't make a slow living episode last week, and I had intention to do it, but life, I actually prioritized family time. So and I had this, it was a little stressful. There was a graduations party, and school's out for the summer, and it was a lot going on. So I actually took the decision to not record a slow living episode, because if I would have done that, it would be quite stressful for me, and it wouldn't be fun. And for me, it should be fun. Also, I think if I would have pushed through, then, it wouldn't be what I'm preaching. I'm preaching slow living and living with intention. And for me, that is, because it's not important that I will get an episode out every week. People will not die because of it. People will not, it's just an episode. So I took the decision to live as I preach and not record. And also, I will not record next week. So there will be 2 weeks now where there will not be a slow living episode. And the reason why I will not do that is because I am going on a trip to Stockholm. So that is why I can't record next week. So we have a knitting episode now, and then it will take 2 weeks, and then we will have another knitting episode. So that is how it is. The summer is always, things are happening during the summer. It's a time for vacation. It's time for slowing down, not working, but it's also, the time to meet family and friends, and that is more important, I think. So I do not have that much knitting to show you, because I told you last week that I have a secret project that I can't show you, and that project has taken a lot of my knitting time. So I only have 1 finished object and 2 whips to show you. So my only finished object is my socks that I had. I showed you last week. I said I wasn't happy with them. I'm still not, but I think, I will use them. It's not a big deal. I have used my own pattern, LD Basic Socks. I will link to that below. And I have changed, because that one is 2x2 rib, and I have changed this to 4x1 rib. And the reason I'm not happy with this is because when I knit in the round and I have, the knit stitch after the purl stitch is getting, bigger. It's getting really wider. So I didn't get that crisp edge of the knitting sections that I wanted, but you know, it's not a big deal. I will use them. It's just the outcome wasn't exact as it was in my head, and that is why I'm a little disappointed. So you can see here this knitting stitch is, you know, wider after the purl stitch. So that is why I'm not super happy with it. But it's okay. I knitted the leg a little shorter because I think I will use them mostly now in the summer. So I don't want a too long leg. But I love the yarn. I think the colors are stunning. And the yarn that I have been using is this yarn from a Swedish hand dyer. I showed this last week as well. But this is the yarn Lullull from Jenny Penny. And the colorway is To Melissa. And I do think that she only sells in Sweden though. I bought this yarn at a fair that I was at in Malmö a couple of months ago. So it's a beautiful dyed yarn, I think. And the toe and cuff is another hand-dyed yarn I had in my stash, and this is from Humlalyckan. I do think she only sells in Sweden as well. So, but this is a fingering sock yarn. Yeah. There are so many talented hand dyers around the world, so I think you can find your favorite somewhere. Yes. Whips. I can start by showing you. I just started on my last episode Brianna's tee, but a long-sleeved version. And I have not knitted that much, but I've knitted this much on the yoke. And this is knitted in this baby alpaca from Imagine Wool. And this color is 306. And for the contrasting colors, I use this color 207 and 410. So this is the colors that I'm using for that one. And I must say, it has taken a little time to knit this. First of all, I'm knitting a size bigger than I usually do. And that is because I think this one will be worn more in the fall and winter because it's 100% alpaca. So it will be quite warm. And I want to have, you know, a t-shirt underneath or a other long sleeved. I have never knitted in 100% alpaca before, so I don't know how because I do know that a lot of people are a little allergic to alpaca. So I don't know if that is the case with me. I will say though that it is taking a little time because the yarn is so slippery. And it is quite hard to knit color work, I must say. I have changed to wooden needles because I I thought they wouldn't slip off the needles as easy, but it's still very slippery, and I need to, keep the tension in my hands a lot. So it is taking a little time. It's no problem. It's doable, but yeah, it is a little more difficult than knitting with a more rustic yarn that I usually do. So yeah, but I like how it is. And this will be a long sleeve. I don't know if I said that, but this one will be long sleeved. So yes. And I use needle 3.5 for the color work and 3 millimeters on the stockinette. And that is the same as this, US 4 for the color work and US 2.5 for the stockinette. And US 2 for the ribbing, and that is 2.75 millimeter. Yeah. I do have a whip that I haven't shown you in a while, but I have finished one sleeve on my scrap yarn sweater. So this sweater is just for fun, and I have finished one sleeve, and I have a little more than halfway on the second sleeve, I think. This is, I have used 2 strands of Rauma finull that I have hand dyed myself. And then, so that is on the ribbing and the short rows in the back. And then I have changed 1 strand to a scrap yarn. And then I have just, knitted away. And the hem is also with 2 strands of Rauma finull, also the cuff here on the sleeves. So I wanted this to be finished when I'm going to Stockholm next week. So I did move it up in the queue. So that is why I have knitted on it. And the reason because I wanted to use this, I started this one because I want to have a cool sweater when I am going to watch Green Day in Stockholm. So, yes. I am using 5.5 millimeter, that is a US 9 on the stockinette, and a US 4.5 on the ribbing. No, a US 5. No. 5.5 millimeters on the stockinette, a US 9, and a 5 millimeters on the ribbing, and that is a US 8. So forget what I said before. So yeah, it's almost finished. Next time it will be. And that is all that I wanted to show you. So I didn't have that much to show this time. I still am working on my secret project. It's not finished yet, so we'll see how much I don't have to do anything. How much I can show you in the next episode. But I will take my camera with me to Stockholm, and I will show you because the first day, we're only going to stay there one night. We're going to take our car. It takes about 6 hours to drive to Stockholm. And then we will go to the concert on the afternoon and evening, because it's like a festival. It's a lot of bands that will play, but Green Day is the main event. And then the next day we will walk around in Stockholm a little bit before we take the car home again. So I will then record a little so you can see Stockholm. So I'm hoping for good weather, and yeah. But I do wish you a wonderful day. And to all of you who celebrate, I wish you a really happy Midsummer. And don't forget that I do have this Midsummer sale, and it's throughout June. No code needed, 25% off. So do take advantage of it. But I want you all to take care of yourself. Bye-bye.